morning, good evening, good afternoon. Once again, we are in class number one of our course, Git for Network Engineers, right? And today is the class one. So I started my career as a network engineer, right? And the reason was 100% that I didn't want to code. But today, world has changed, you all know. And to be relevant in upcoming world, I think we all should learn a little bit of scripting, little bit of automation. I'm not saying that Git is important for only development purpose. No, absolutely not. Git is the skill which is needed by everybody, and I am going to prove it in today's class, right? But yes, time has changed. Automation scripting is a need of an hour if you want to be in this field for the longer term, along with the network engineering knowledge, whatever you know, data center, network security, cloud. Along with that, it would be wise to have some knowledge of automation and scripting. I'm not saying that you should be developer. You target yourself as a developer. No, absolutely not. I'm just saying understand a little bit of scripting because today's you all know AI can write the script, right? But you need to understand a bit pieces of it so that you feel comfortable. And believe me, if you are going into that direction, going into that automation or scripting direction, Git is a must to have tool, right? What problem Git solve? This is going to be point number one of today's class, right? If you understand the problem, believe me, you understand almost 50 to 60% of the Git because in today's class, I will I will tell you, right? I will tell you in today's class that how you are going to solve a problem which resulted into a Git, right? And believe me, somebody already developed this overall Git portion, right? Good Git solution. So what I'm saying here is in today's class, we'll try to understand this problem of with the help of a story, and then we will talk about in the end a small demonstration. The agenda is really simple. So without wasting any time, let's move to the first board where we have our character. Mostly I explain things with the character, and we have Mr. Rahul. Mr. Rahul is a network engineer of Sports India Private Limited. It's a small company in Pune, right? And network engineer is there for this company, and that network engineer is Mr. Rahul. You can see Rahul is very enthusiastic. He passed his CCNP in first attempt. Very organized guy, right? He loved to see things. He loved to work on things. He loved to uh, troubleshoot things. And he himself, he himself created this complete network. He created two switches at access layer, right? We call this as access layer because many students or many employees, right? They connect over these switches. As simple as that. Then we have the distribution layer switch. We have two distribution layer switch one and switch two. And then we have one router which is connected to MPLS and eventually internet. If this green color guy or green laptop guy want to reach the internet, this is the path, right? And you must be thinking, Mr. Vishnu, why you are teaching network design? Believe me, Git is not related to anything, whatever I have showcased you on this board. If you do not know anything about network engineering, that is perfectly fine because I can see that there are 120 people here. And out of 120 people, I think 80 to 85% are network engineer, but there are some who are not network engineer at all. So do not worry if you don't get anything out of this board. I am just saying that every company, right, where employees come and access the internet or data center, there is something through which they can access internet or MPLS, and that is the network of that company. And this is the responsibility of the network engineer of that company to make this network available all the times. And this is the responsibility of Mr. Rahul here. He has created this network which is working in absolutely perfect state. Everything is working fine. Every user is connected to the internet and data center, no problem at all. right? And Mr. Rahul is saying that I would like to save the state of this network because it is working, right? Whatever is working, you always save it. This is the whole sole idea Mr. Rahul has, right? So what he does, you all know that all these routers and switches has a file which is known as running configuration, right? Whatever exactly is running on this router, whatever the commands, whatever the protocols, right? It is right there in this running configuration. So what Mr. Rahul is doing, Mr. Rahul is taking this running configuration out and he's giving them name as r1.txt, then switch1.txt, switch2.txt, switch3, and switch4. So whatever is running on this network right now, if you can see, it is right there in these files, no doubt about it. If he's running OSPF, he's running BGP, if he's running VLANs, everything is written in this file. So I can say that, I can safely say that whatever this network represent, right? Or whatever this network right now doing can be represented with these 5 files, R1, switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, and switch 4. I can also say that if I want to take a photograph of this network or snapshot of this network, then what I would do, I will take these 5 files because these 5 files are representing the current state of this network. It is the snapshot of this network. Just have this word snapshot in back of your mind because we are going to use it again and again, right? But this thing is clear. This should be clear to everybody. The network which Mr. Rahul is managing and maintaining is represented by these 5 files, right? If anybody comes and if anybody deletes all the configuration of these routers and switches, Mr. Rahul has all these files. And what he's going to do, he will be placing all these files into these routers and switches. I'm resuming. So overall, network state can be represented with these 5 files. And that is what Mr. Rahul is doing in the next board. What he's saying, I will be storing all these 5 files into this folder, right? All these 5 files means R1, switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, switch 4. And I will say this folder name as current network. And Mr. Rahul is very happy that he has everything. He has the backup of his complete network, right? No problem still yet. And I think we all have done this thing that if we are managing and maintaining a network, it is always wise to have all the running configurations somewhere in the folder, right? Somewhere in some folder, as simple as that. And this is what Mr. Rahul has done. But now see what problem Mr. Rahul is going to have in such a case, right? So here you go. Now the problem is starting for Mr. Rahul. What are these problems, right? So you can see the face of Mr. Rahul. It has changed from the previous board, right? What is going on right now? See, Mr. Rahul has saved all the files in this folder and named this folder as current network. Now, Mr. Rahul's manager came. I will introduce the manager also in this today's class, don't worry. And he's saying, Mr. Rahul, can you add a VLAN into distribution switch and access switches? And Rahul is saying, absolutely, I can do that, right? And what Mr. Rahul is using some system where he can just change the files and then whatever the file he's changing, the configuration file, he can push those files to the devices, just like the software defined networking we use. But if it is not, if you are not getting it, that is perfectly fine. What is happening right now is Mr. Rahul has changed switch 1 configuration file, then 2, 3, and 4. And then what he has done, he has created another folder and he put all 5 files here. In these 5 files, what has changed? Switch 1 is changed, switch 3 is changed, 4 is changed, and switch 2 is changed. R1 is exactly the same. So what Rahul is doing, he is just creating a backup, another backup of this folder so that this is his initial files and then these are the change files and the new folder name is current network final. We all do such namings, right? Now, this folder, this one, is representing the current state of the network. Why? Because previous folder doesn't have the latest VLAN in it. As simple as that, right? Then what happened? Mr. Rahul's manager again came and he says that we need to update, we need to introduce PGP into our system. Right now we are running OSPF as an external routing protocol. We need to have BGP, and Rahul is saying, okay, I can do the change. In change number 3, he took this router R1 and he introduced PGP into it. Again, the process is same. He's creating another folder here and put all the 5 files. You must be wondering, Mr. Vishnu, why 5 files? The reason is only that he wants to have everything into one folder. Now he has the third folder and he's going to give the name just like this: current network final updated. Interesting. And we all do such naming, believe me. Then the manager came here and he's saying change ACLs on all these switches. Again, another folder with different name, current network final fixed. Then another change, maybe this time in spanning tree. Another name, current network final. Another change, another name. See this funny name, current network final. This one, seriously, this is final, right? And this is how we give name, right? Mostly, if you are if you're thinking you are targeting, means some of you, believe me, it happens with everybody. I mean, this is how we give name. Means you could argue with me that I am more smarter and I can give then version 1, version 2, version 3. Then it means that you are doing the version controlling, right? But naming is final, right? After some time, you can see that these folders can be many. Every 1 week, 2 week, you are doing a change. And if that is the case, then within 1 year, you will be having 52 folders. Maybe in 2 years, you will be having more than 100 folders. You are creating these folders. You do not know which folder has what, right? And if somebody asks you, what is the difference between these two folders? Would you be able to tell? No, right? There is no controlling of version. Very, very interesting. So I would say in the happy story of Mr. Rahul, there are some problems, right? And real problem starts when manager comes into picture, right? And here is the manager of Mr. Rahul. What exactly he's saying? Now Mr. Rahul has done 50 changes and he has these 50 folders with him. And he has very unusual name, final. This one is for seriously, this one is final, right? First problem, manager comes and asks, Mr. Rahul, can you give me all the file on which current network is working? And Rahul is saying there are 50 folders and I am pretty sure that I can find it. And he get confused when he see all these folders, which is the latest one. Interesting, right? Second problem. Mr. Manager asks, what is this change number 46? What is this folder? What change you did in this? Rahul had no clue about it. Maybe he could have asked, what is this change number? What is the change folder number 14, right? What exactly it has? Mr. Rahul had no idea about it. And one more interesting question when this manager asked, can you tell me what is the difference between the folder number 40 and folder number 50? What exactly the changes of the 5 files? And Rahul is saying, I can definitely tell you, just give me 2 days. And what Mr. Rahul is going to do, he will be opening 5 files from folder number 40 and 5 files from folder number 50. He's going to open them in a tool and he will be comparing them line by line. What was the change? And it's a big problem. I think you should all agree with me. Yes, that's a big problem, right? So overall, three problems I mentioned here, right? Which is the final version. What exactly is the change between two folders? And what exactly the change you did in a particular folder, right? And this is the problem. And manager is saying, Mr. Rahul, I don't think that you are doing, or you are able to do the job properly. So to help you, I am introducing or I am hiring one more employee, right? And you must be thinking, who is that employee? You are right. Anjali is going to join this company, right? And what do you think that Anjali will be able to solve such problems or she will be increasing the problem of Rahul? Let's see, right? So in today's class, we'll try to solve problem of Mr. Rahul when Anjali was not introduced. Believe me, in such kind of system, if there is another network engineer, it is going to be a big, big problem. What are those problems? Let's see that. So in the next board, if you see, we have Anjali right here, right? Anjali has joined Sports India Private Limited. Rahul is happy because now somebody is there to share his workload and is sharing the current network file. Finally, he got to know what is the current network folder and he has sent this folder to Miss Anjali over the WhatsApp. And when he sent the files over the WhatsApp, Anjali knew that there is no system, right, in this company. If somebody is sending the configuration over the WhatsApp, it's a problem, right? And Anjali is saying, asking that what this folder is all about. And Rahul is saying this is the current state of our network. We have 5 devices, we have 5 files, and whatever is running right now on these devices, I am giving you. One big problem is now instead of only one guy is managing all these folders and file, now we have two. We have two different people. Collaboration is required, right? And try to understand if collaboration is required, then there is more problem in controlling the version. And you can see the faces of Rahul and Anjali. See what is happening. I will give you 2 or 3 examples here. We have a folder of current network with Mr. Rahul. We have a folder of current network with Miss Anjali. They both are working on switch 1. Okay. And what is happening right now in switch 1? Suppose Anjali has done some change here. Sorry, Rahul has done some change in his switch 1. And Anjali has done some different change because there are two different people. Maybe in switch 1, he's doing change in VLAN. She is doing change in ACLs. If that is the case, right? Which version is the final version? Because they both are working in parallel, right? The second problem, suppose Mr. Rahul is working on some interesting change in this file and he took 1 hour to do it. Anjali is also doing the change in this file, right? And it took 10 minutes for the Anjali to do, and she sent this file to Mr. Rahul. Rahul has accepted this file. It means that he has deleted his own file and he's accepted switch 1. I'm not sure why he's deleted it, but he has. He's accepted Anjali switch 1. It means that his work of 1.5 hour is gone. Another problem, try to understand. Suppose on switch 1, Rahul would like to run maybe OSPF protocol and Anjali wants to do EIGRP, right? Maybe when Rahul put this line, Anjali has deleted OSPF configuration. Which version is represented the current state of the network? Because we have two different versions, one with Rahul, one with Anjali. It's a problem. When we have 2 or more people working on the same folder and file, we have more problems, right? So see, when Rahul was alone, his problem was there, and that problem is still with Anjali, no doubt about it. Because if we talk about Anjali, if she is doing some change, she is going to make another folder and put all the files here. Rahul is doing that. So the same problem, whatever Mr. Rahul was dealing with, Anjali is also dealing. But now There is a bigger problem also, and that bigger problem is the collaboration. How these two people work on the same files and folder without affecting each other work. This is the whole soul point now, right? And believe me, this problem was not new. This problem is maybe new for a network engineer because he's not a developer. This problem happened in 2005, and there was a great engineer, the name was Linus, who wrote Linux operating system. And this guy was facing the same problem. And believe me, he was not working with one engineer. He was working with thousands of engineers on the same folder, same files. And if that is the case, right, I'm not talking about two people, I'm talking about 1,000 people. And that guy who faced this problem was Mr. Linus. He is Mr. Linus. He is the one who is responsible for making one of the most widely used operating system. Believe me, it's not Windows, it is not Mac OS, it is Linux. If you are if you don't know about Linux, I have a complete course on Linux. Believe me, it's very simple. It's very easy to. And this is a completely free software. And this guy was working in around 1990s on this. And he made this Linux operating system absolutely free. And when he was developing this operating system, he was alone. But soon there is a community of people who started working because this was an open project. More than 1,000 people were working with Mr. Linus, right? And they all were contributing. They all were contributing towards one goal to make this Linux operating system one of the most easy operating system, right? You must be wondering, Mr. Vishnu, no, Linux is not easy, mostly in the commands. But we are network engineer guys. We do not have any fear of commands. We always run them, right? But yes, comparatively to Windows and Mac, which is the user interface based, Linux is a little typical because it has more commands. If you know the commands, you can definitely do wonders in Linux. It means that when he was developing this Linux, there are more than 1,000 people who were working on the same folder of Linux operating system, which have many files, right? Not one person, 1,000 person. Collaboration was needed. Same problem, same Mr. Rahul problem. Rahul is dealing this problem with Anjali, and Mr. Linus was dealing with this problem with thousands of engineers. So he was using a software. The software name was BitKeeper. This is a big company who was able to solve all this problem, right? And they offered help to Mr. Linus that they will be giving BitKeeper software to Mr. Linus absolutely free of cost, no license involved, right? But suddenly in 2005, something happened. BitKeeper company came to Mr. Linus and they say, we cannot offer the free BitKeeper version for you, free software version for you, which you are using as a version control. And Mr. Linus said, no, I'm not going to use the paid version. Just give me this subscription for maybe 3-4 months and I will do some alternative. And believe me, guys, this guy has developed the solution or the software which solved this problem in just 15 to 20 days. And all the developers were on this new solution within 3 months. BitKeeper was out, Mr. Linus software was in, and that software name was Git. Interesting, right? The name, the meaning of this Git is a slang in British language, and the meaning is unpleasant. And then when somebody asked Mr. Linus, why did you give the name Git to this one of the most useful tool? He said, I name all of my software right? Along with my name. It means that he was the guy, he think himself as an unpleasant, right? Good sense of humor. So overall, I just wanted to say whatever the problem Mr. Rahul was facing, the same problem was faced by Mr. Linus, and he solved this problem in 15 days. And the software which was result of Mr. Linus' problem, or the software which resulted as a solution of this problem was Git. This was developed in 2005, right? Interesting. So now we have almost 27 minutes. Till now, if you guys have any doubt, any question, just raise your hand and I will be happy to discuss. But till now, I am just discussing stories, right? But if you understand the problem, means if you don't understand the problem of Anjali and Rahul collaboration, that is perfectly fine. In today's class, we'll try to solve the problem of Mr. Rahul, the three problems, right? He was not able to tell what is the difference between version number 45 and version number 50, what it did in version number 14, right? You all know this. So now I would say if you were Mr. Linus or if you were Mr. Rahul, how you are going to solve this problem of Mr. Rahul? And you can see Mr. Rahul has some idea and he's saying that I have an idea. I have an idea. Rahul is saying, see, the biggest problem of Mr. Rahul was that he has to save everything manually. He has to give the name of the folder manually. And he couldn't recall what exactly is the difference between two different versions. As simple as that, right? So he solved this problem in very elegant manner. He is saying, I will start with a directory, I will start with a folder which is having some files. And if I do any change in these files, there must be a system, there must be a software which can take a picture of the change. Everything. As simple as that. This is the solution of Mr. Rahul. And I would say, if you understood the problem of Mr. Rahul, you can think of your own solution also. And here we have more than 125 people, and I'm 100% sure that everybody can think of such a simple solution like Rahul. Maybe your solution might be more efficient than Rahul, maybe not efficient than Rahul, but everybody here who is listening this class can understand or can create a solution for this or can create the idea. Means I know that we are not coders, we are not developers, but we can give the idea that if I'm changing in this directory, there must be somebody or must be some software which can take the picture of the change automatically. That is it. So suppose Mr. Rahul has done the changes in this file, means change number 1, right? The software, what is going to do after change number 1? I just need to inform the software that I have done the change, and this software will be taking the picture and it is going to give the name version number 1. As simple as that. Then I will do some change, maybe switch 1 and switch 2, and I will say the system that I have done the change, and it is going to take another snapshot, another picture in which we will be having all the files, including the changes, right? Version number 2. And then Mr. Rahul has done another change. So now the important thing is Mr. Rahul is not doing anything. He is not creating this folder. He's not creating this file. He's not putting this file into this folder. It is happening on its own. Mr. Rahul is just changing whatever you want to change in this directory and just inform the software, right, that I have done the change. Make a version of it. As simple as that. This is version number 3. I forgot to take the picture here, but this is also a folder, right? So what is happening right here? We have this as a snapshot. We also call this as a commit. You can say this is a photo, you can say this is a snapshot, you can say this is a commit. Commit is the word which is liked by Linus. And believe me, this is all Git is doing on a very broader level, on a very high level. The system developed by Mr. Linus is doing this. Whenever you do any change, take a snapshot and just put it there. And most interesting thing is, if you ask this system, what is the difference between version 1 and version 2? Suppose you did a change in just switch 4, it is going to say that version 1, version 2, all is same except for switch 4. And in switch 4, you have done this change in this version, maybe the addition, the deletion, and that is it. Mr. Rahul problem is solved, right? This is what Git is doing. So basically, this commit is the word loved by Mr. Linus. So have this word in back of your mind when we go a little bit deeper into Git in the next class. All these terms will be coming there. What exactly this? This is my working directory through which I started working, right? But now Rahul is happy with this solution, but we human beings make this solution, generally we try to make the solution more efficient, right? Right now, whatever Mr. Rahul is doing, right, we are going to take the snapshot. For example, in change number 3, Mr. Rahul has just changed switch number 4, suppose, right? But what we are doing, we are saving all the files. If there are 250, if there are 50 changes, then we have 250 files, right? Not that efficient. Wouldn't it be better, Mr. Rahul is saying? By the way, this is what Git is doing on a broader level. Yes, Git is more efficient than this. But if you want to understand what exactly Git is tracking your changes. Git is doing the version control. Git is telling you what the difference between version 3 and version 3 if you want to ask. Git is telling you what exactly there in version 3, right? But yes, now what we are going to do, we will try to make the system more efficient because this anybody can think, right? But as a developer, as a designer, we want to make the system more efficient, right? And somebody is saying, could we get the recording of this? Don't worry about the recording, you will be having that, right? But after 1 week. So Rahul is making this system efficient by saying that if I do a change in only one file, right? If I do a change in only one file, it would be better that I save only that file, right? Otherwise, it's a wastage of resources. And there must be some way to tell the system. For example, right now I'm saying I have done the change, and system or the Git is saying, okay, I'm storing everything. Then I say I have done some another change, and Git is saying I'm storing it. Wouldn't it be nice that if I say that I have changed only switch 1 and switch 2, just store these. I have changed only switch 4, just take a snapshot. Interesting. And that is where Mr. Linus software, which is known as Git, is giving you more functionality, right? It is giving you more control. How come? So I'm extremely sorry, I forgot to make this folder. This is the folder. This is my working directory through which I started, right? And Mr. Rahul is saying right now, I'm starting with these 5 files. I have introduced 5 files in the system to begin with. Please save all the files. So this is some area, right? We are calling the Git system or the system which we are developing, right? Whatever in this area, just take a snapshot of this area, as simple as that. So right now, Mr. Rahul, as a first change, he's saying, I have introduced these 5 files into the system. Take a snapshot. And what Git is going to do, it will check what is there in the area. In the area, we have only 5 files. It is going to create a snapshot of it. It is going to say, this is my version number 1. Now, instead of taking everything from here, whatever is there in this area, right, represented by this rectangle, Git is going to store or snapshot that, or the system which is developed by Rahul is going to store that or save that or commit that. Then in the next change, see the interesting thing which has happened here, and it's very, very important. In the second change, what is happening? Mr. Rahul is changed. Rahul has done changed in router 1, switch 2. He hasn't done any change in switch 3 and switch 4. These files are exactly same, right? So this time Mr. Rahul is saying that I have only changed R1, switch 1 and switch 2. Take the snapshot. Interesting. What this Git system is doing, it is taking the snapshot, it is taking these 3 files right here. As simple as that. And naming it as version 2. And you must be wondering, Mr. Vishnu, but switch 3 and switch 4 files are also there. But these are of gray color. What is the difference between this gray and blue color? Blue color is the actual files, guys. Switch 3 and switch 4 are just the name of these files, because Git system knows there is no change in switch 3 and switch 4. There is no need to save them again. But instead, I can just have the name of this file, which will be pointing towards this already saved file in version 1. By the way, if you are from the programming background, you know that I'm talking about pointers. Pointers, something which points towards something, right? So these are not actual files. We are not saving these files, right? Because we have already saved in version 1. And if there is no change, then there is no point of saving them. And that is why we just save the name, which is pointing towards the actual file. It means that these files are not there, but actually we can reach to them because we have saved them in version 1. As simple as that. In the third change, Mr. Rahul is saying, I have done change only in R1 and switch 1. Please save it. And this system is going to take the snapshot and name it as version 3. These 2 files are there because these are changed. These are blue. The remaining 3 are actually what? These are just the name which are pointing towards actual file in the previous version. As simple as that, because there is no change, right? And if you ask Git, what is the difference between version 2 and version 3? Git is going to say that R1 and switch 1 is changed, and these are the changes. 100%. Sorry, guys. 40 minutes are done, right? And by the way, this is the whole sole idea. So if we talk about this area, right? Git guys call this area as staging. And here, basically, we are taking snapshot or we are doing commit. So you can say that you want to take a photograph of somebody, but you are going to take this photograph of somebody who is on the stage. As simple as that. And by the way, this is not my analogies. I was doing this in this class, and somebody did this beautiful analogy that if you want to take a snapshot, you are taking the snapshot of somebody who is on the stage. So from your working directory, send those to the stage, and then Git system take the snapshot or commit, and all these things are going to be done automatically. I'm not saying that you cannot do this manually, right? But the effort is going to be tremendous. Try to think. Every time Rahul is going to change, if he has to do this thing manually, he has to create the folder, put all the files there, and then he is going to write that what exactly the change he has done, maybe the readme file in a particular folder. The effort is tremendous. But here, what you need to do, you just need to inform Git system that I have done this change and the change are on stage. Take a snapshot, right? So what you need to do, from your working directory, you need to add files to a stage, and from that stage, you need to commit file so that all these files will be there in the permanent memory of Git system. As simple as that, guys. Now, I would really love to have your questions. If anybody want to give some input to this, or if anybody want to have some question, please do ask. Am I audible, guys? So now your question, Mr. Manikanta, please unmute yourself and ask your question. Please go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Vishnu.
Yeah.
So about the Git repository, right? So when we do some changes, now let's say that you have a file like let's say that R1 has version 1, right? Now I have edited some file for the R1.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, you said that R1, S1, S2 will be same as it is. I mean, will be changed, but S3 and S4 will be just pushed to the version 2, or will it create a link towards the version 1? How is that?
It is going to the link. And by the way, I haven't introduced any term involving repo. So
Yeah.
these are just the pointers. So believe me, this is
Okay.
just the first class, and don't worry, we will be touching up these
Mm-hmm.
points in greater detail in upcoming classes. But to answer your question, these are not the actual files, but it's a structure, database structure, which is basically
Mm-hmm.
pointing towards the actual file in the previous version. So I have written switch 3 and switch 4 because there is no change in this switch 3 and switch 4 in version number 2. So there is no point of actually storing them here because we have already stored them. But yes, as and when we need to fetch them, then we can do that because it's already stored in the Git system. Right, Manikanda?
Perfect. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks, Vishnu.
perfect. Krish, please go ahead and ask your question. Krish, yeah, I think I am not able to hear Krish. Maybe Rohit. Rohit, you can ask your question.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, my last question was, is it similar to the Linux kernel working commit statements using on Juniper switches or routers?
Yes, yes, almost same. The
Yeah.
the same concept was taken. I think there is too much of audio. Sorry, too much of disturbance. Can you please be on mute? Yeah, sure. I think Krish was there. Krish, we go ahead and ask your question, please, Mr. Krish.
Uh, yeah, Vinit. Vinit, my question is very simple. Actually, your concept is very clear for me.
Mhm.
So you are planning to any GitLab, any GitLab to present on the merging the file from the production to production environment, staging environment to production environment you are planning to create, or
Yeah, I will be touching on those points in second and third class. Don't worry. Okay.
okay, thanks. Yeah,
Perfect.
thanks. Yeah,
Uh,
anyway, your session is very nice.
thank you so much. So, anybody else? I think Krishna, if you want to ask, please go ahead.
Yeah, Vishnu, I have a question. So
Mhm.
in present networks, we are having a different kind of network devices, right? Like SD-WAN fabrics are there and the ACI controllers as well as ICE devices. So is this Git used only for the version control of the text files or something else?
Anything, man. You can control uh, uh, any kind of files, right? But yeah, in terms of video files and image file, it can't, means there is a different version of the Git which can do that. But yes, normal version controlling you can do with the image file and video file also. This is work
Okay.
with any kind of file. And it's a nice question, by the way. Anybody else? I think Rohit, you have asked question or you want to ask? Okay, he has asked. Vadyam, you can ask your question, Vadyam.
Hey, hi Vishnu.
Yeah,
Thank you for the session. So I
you're
just
welcome.
have a
Mhm.
question, like, so based on this JIT config, is this kind of a backup tool or something like which we can push config from this to devices as well?
This is
Um,
basically, I am teaching this Git so that from the network engineer perspective, but it was never for the network engineer, it is for the developers. But as you know that the time has changed and network engineers are going into the scripting and they need to manage these files, they need to version control this file, and that is why basically we need to learn it. But yes, to your question, uh, uh, basically it is not used for pushing the configuration to some from somewhere to somewhere, right? This is just to version control your files, and that is it. Okay,
okay.
perfect. Sangeet,
Here
yeah,
comes,
yeah.
sorry, yeah.
Mhm.
Here
Go ahead.
comes another question for actually every environment has currently any kind of backup tools or like so their own software something. So was just wondering if there is any advantage for this or how
Yeah, backup is fine. I am saying that, for example, you have SD-WAN fabric, right? Suppose.
okay.
And then basically you have your version number one, your version number two, your version number three, where you take the complete backup of the system, right? And you store it. That is perfectly fine. That is your SD-WAN controller is doing for you. I am saying, suppose you want to develop a automation for some, means you want to come into the scripting, suppose, right? And you have created inside one folder, you have say 15 files, right? And if you change something in this one file or two file or three file, right? Definitely you can do that in one folder. But what if you have changed and something doesn't work? You want to move to previous version, maybe to previous version, right? So Git is not for network engineers, right? You can, anybody can use the Git to version control their files. That is the whole sole purpose. Try to remember the problem of, means if in case of a particular software like SD-WAN or DNAC, if that software is providing you the functionality of version controlling, then definitely you do not need it. But if you are doing something to manage your file and there is nothing which is controlling your versions, then we need Git. Am I making sense, Vadim?
Yeah, yeah, Vishnu. Yeah, I got it.
Perfect, perfect.
Thank
Sangeeta
you very
ji,
much.
no problem. Sangeeta ji, please ask your question. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I wanna ask if let us suppose like 1,000 people are using like these files, and everybody simultaneously just want to update these files. So is there any limitation like in staging, like we can keep like track of 1,000 files, like 1,000 people, it might be like files are here, so 5,000s. And we can, is there any limitation we can keep like 1,000 or 5,000 files in staging, or how many versions we can maintain simultaneously of how many users?
It's an interesting question. See, right now, that is why in the first class, I am just talking about the problem of Mr. Rahul. One person is
Yeah.
managing its local thing, right? But don't worry.
Right.
As soon as we come to the collaboration problem, when we involve
Mhm.
Anjali, right? We will be doing a live project. So
Right.
then how the things happens, it is going to be different thing, right? Which I didn't want to include in the first class. But your question is 100%
Yeah.
valid, and probably in third to fourth class, you will be getting this answer. 100%. Even I haven't introduced most of the terms of Git. Okay,
Right.
perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Burak,
Thank.
please go ahead and ask your question. First of all, it's been long, Burak. How are you?
Thank you. Nice to see you again,
Yeah,
Vishnu. Thank you.
yeah, please go ahead.
Uh, my question is, from the network engineer perspective, how do we get the real benefits of this tool? I mean, generally, we care about as you mentioned previously, we care about the backup of the devices configurations. How can we automate the getting the configuration files of the devices and make a differentiate between these configuration files? How can we automate these kind of things?
See, that's a great question actually. See, if your solution provides the version controlling thing, for example, SD-WAN does that, right? We can take a backup, although it's a manual process, but we can take a backup and we can store them as a version 1, version 2, version 3, what is there in version 1, version 2, and version 3, right? But if something is there, for example, it is not the case that everybody is using SD-WAN or DNAC, right? If
Of course.
you have a complete network, suppose, right? And what you have done is you have built a Linux server which is controlling all of your network devices, whatever the routers and switches you have put here, right? So instead of going on the individual devices, what you do is you take all the configuration and put them in a folder. For example, there are 100 such devices you have. You have put all the 100 configurations here. This Linux server has the capability to take this configuration from this and put them right here. But the problem is to manage and maintain this 100 devices configuration. Suppose this is your current state, right? Every week you will be getting a change. And if there is a change, you need to do the change manually in these files. And eventually this Linux server is going to publish or push all these things here. I am just giving one scenario from my knowledge, right? Although Git has never been developed only for network engineer. It's a product developed for, especially developed by Linus for the development sake, right? And the environment which I am showcasing you right now is a development environment, because this Linux server is just nothing but a Python script which is pushing, which is taking these devices configuration and putting them using a telnet connection or maybe the SSH connection, right? So overall,
Mhm.
if you want to manage these 100 devices, the changes, right? One way is just create manual folder and name them, and whatever you've changed, just mention that. One way is use Git. Very efficient, very easy. You are working into this one folder only, but Git, whatever the changes you are doing, it is going to version control them. It is going to eventually tell you that what exactly the difference between two previous version or one version with 100 previous version. So this is the point where you can use it. But this is what I thought, right? But my point of view is that as network engineers are moving towards AI skills, machine learning skills, automation skills, and scripting skills, they are going to eventually need to control or version control their files. And if that is the case, Git is inevitable there. Mr. Burak, making sense?
Mhm. Okay. Okay, Vishnu. Thank you.
Yeah, perfect. So now I would like to give you a little demo. Kana, I will come to you. Don't worry, I am not going anywhere until unless I will answer all the question. But let me finish the class first and then we can talk about it. So I would like to give a small demonstration to you, right? What I'm going to do here in current demonstration. I will be having one folder, maybe say Sports India Network, right? And this network will be having two files, R1 and switch1. What I'm going to do as a first change, I am going to put them on stage, right? And putting them on stage needs adding them on stage. So basically there is a git command with the name add. I didn't want to introduce any command today, but I would love to have one demo at least that whatever we have learned, it works, right? So basically, Mr. Rahul starting with this current working directory where he has two files, he has changed them and he is going to put them on the stage and he will be calling Git that please save my first change. As soon as he does that, this change will be saved in a folder, right? We call this that we have done commit. Here we are adding the file to stage and here we are committing. Committing means we are taking one snapshot and we are naming that snapshot as initial. Although internal name is something different, but we are just focusing on some simple concepts here. We have added Mr. Rahul's configuration to the stage and then committed. This is going to be my first snapshot or first commit. Then what Mr. Rahul is going to do is out of these two files, he will be changing only R1. Maybe he have introduced OSPF configuration was there. He will be introducing BGP configuration and he will be putting this configuration on the stage because he hasn't changed anything in switch one. So he's saying add just R1 on the stage and then whatever is on the stage, Git is going to commit it. He will commit, it will commit only R1 this time. He will say edit BGP. This is the thing which you can specify so that you remember that what you have done in this change. So this commit will be having another snapshot. Interesting. And if you ask what is the difference between, and this is the Git tool, this is the beauty of the Git tool. When you ask the difference, it is going to tell that in the initial or the edit BGP configuration, only R1 is changed with these 2 lines of code. Interesting, right? Then what is going to happen in the third line, Mr. Switch, Rahul change switch 1, and he's going to say, and there's a third change, add switch 1, and then we are going to commit. This is going to be commit number 3, where we are writing edit boolean number 200, and this will be your commit number 3. You can compare commit 3 with commit 2, or commit 2 with commit 1, or commit 3 with commit 1. As simple as that. So we will be doing this. To do that, what exactly I'm going to need? First thing first, I will be needing something which can show this folder to me along with this file. And you must be wondering, Mr. Vishnu, this is very easy. Just open a folder. In Windows Explorer, it is going to showcase you. But along with that, I want something through which I can change the content of these files. And you can say that, Mr. Vishnu, you can use Notepad. As simple as that, right? Now, there is one thing, but if I do this, there are too much windows, right? I need an editor, a file editor, and that file editor is going to be VS Code. If you are from programming background, I am 100% sure you must have used VS Code. Don't worry about the word code. It is just the editor. The second thing is I need this software Git itself. So 2 things you need to install, VS Code and Git. How to do that, I will be telling you. Don't worry about it. But for now, I would like to showcase you. I have already installed VS Code right here, right? So I was giving this demo to the previous in previous class. Let me remove this first. Okay. So D users with documents, and let me remove this from here so that I can create this from scratch, new folder. Guys, can somebody confirm that you can see my screen?
Yeah.
Yes,
Sports
Yes,
India network. And then what I'm going to do is I will be opening this folder into my VS Code. Here you have VS Code. And I will say Sports India I have already opened. Okay. And I will be adding a file here. And this file name is suppose R1. And this is the beauty of the VS Code, that you can just write anything along with. So I am saying OSPF 100. Okay, let's write correctly, OSPF 10. And then router ID 1.1.1.1. Okay, that is it. And then I will be adding another file, which is my switch 1. And suppose in switch 1, I add, okay, so sorry, VLAN 100 and name sales. Perfect. So these 2 files I am saving. Now, what I'm going to do, this is the project, this is the software, this is the folder I'm on working with. And now I have decided that I have to version control it so that I do not need to make all those folders, those funny names and everything, right? So what I'm going to do here is I am going into the terminal, right? And especially the normal terminal as a command prompt. And by the way, if you haven't if you are not habitual about using this command prompt, that is perfectly fine, because I know that every network engineer work on Cisco command line, so this should be very easy for them. But if you don't have any idea of working on Windows command prompt or Linux command prompt, that is fine. There are certain commands, few commands only, okay, on which you need to work. So right now I am into Sports India directory. If I see what is there in this directory, just do a dir command, and you can see we have only 2 files in it. 2 files, simple, right? And what I can do here is I can show, to see the hidden files, we have to do a /a, and you can see there is no hidden file right here. So I want, so first of all, I want to see whether there is a git is installed or not. So I can say git version, and it is going to give me yes, git is installed in this PC. So no problem. What I am going to ask to this git is that can you track this folder for me? If I change anything, can you do a version control on this folder, right? So for that, you just need to go inside this folder. And right now I'm into this folder, Sports India Network, right? I want to make everything inside this folder to track to version control by Git. And if that is the case, I need to write one command. And by the way, whatever the commands I'm writing, if you're not comfortable in that, that's 100% okay, because you are seeing these first time. That is perfectly fine. No problems. But go along with me. Try to understand what I'm doing. I'm trying to solve the problem of Mr. Rahul when Anjali is not there, right? Mr. Rahul wants to version control his folder, and I'm doing it. But I'm taking the help of a software which is developed by Mr. Linus. That software name is Git, and I'm calling Git here. That Mr. Git, can you version control my current folder, which is Sports India? And to do that, I need to say Git initialize this folder, and Git has done that. And right now, how can I say that now Git is tracking it? I can say by seeing the dir, right? What is inside this? And now you can see that there is a hidden file with there is a hidden folder. And this is the folder where exactly Git is going to take the snapshot. Git is going to put everything here. So when you are version controlling, you not delete this folder. Right now, what we have done, we have just asked Git to version control this folder. As simple as that, right? Now, I want that in the first commit, Git has everything, whatever the switch and routers we have, right? So what I'm going to do is I will take these files, I will ask Git to take this file and put them on the stage, because before taking a photograph, you need to put them on stage, right? And what are the benefits? The benefit of putting them on, because you have more control, more functionality. Previously, you were saving everything, but now you have control, right? Right now, I want to save everything. So it's very easy to put the files on the stage by calling Git. And I'm saying Git to add these files. Which files? If I put a dot, it means that whatever the files inside this folder, just put them on stage so that Git can commit. And if I do that, it is done. So if I do the Git status, it is going to tell you that these are the 2 new files, and these are not committed. Changes to be committed. These are not committed, but these are staged, right? So what I can do that now is I can say Git commit. I am taking the snapshot right now, and when I take the snapshot, I have to give the message, and I'm saying initial files. As simple as that. Enter. It is saying 2 files for insertion. And we have first commit in Git. How to see that commit? You can say git log. And by the way, do not worry about this command. I can give you the list. When you start using it, these are going to be very, very simple. I recently use it, right? There was some question I'll be talking, just complete, let me complete this. If I do git log one line, it is going to tell me that basically this is the first commit you have, and every commit has the number which is known as hash. Do not worry about it. We will be talking about it. The meaning of this headmaster. Don't worry about it. There are still 4 classes to come. We can't learn everything in this 1 hour, but we can understand the concept in this 1 hour. Just try to understand the concept, right? So one snapshot, one photograph of your complete thing is there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to R1 and I am adding BGP configuration into it. Router BGP 200 and again router ID. This doesn't matter. It can be anything, right? I am saving it. I just change only R1. What I'm going to do, I will be putting that on the stage by saying git add R1 on stage and it is gone. If I do so git status, it is going to say you have modified R1 and you have to commit it. If you do that, how to commit? Whatever is in the stage, git is going to commit it with a message and I am going to give the message that I have added BGP configuration or BGP config. As simple as that. It is added and now I can see that there are two commits. There are two pictures. One is this one, another is this one. And I can get what is the difference? What is the difference between these two changes? And to know the difference, I can say git difference between the initial files and the BGP config. And sure enough, it is saying previously there is only change. Minus minus means this is the previous word file and this is the new file. In the previous file, we have only this and the green color, you can see that right here, you can see the change. Very, very interesting. And there is no change in switch one. That is why it is not showcasing you, right? But let me go to switch one now. Let me add another VLAN, say VLAN number 200 and name is marketing this time. Let me save it. And if I do that, what I can do, I can add switch one also now. If I do a git status here, it is going to showcase me that switch one is modify. And now I can say git commit -m and I am saying added VLAN 200, as simple as that, right? And if I showcase you the how many commits are there, again git command with log and one line. Don't worry about this command, very easy, don't worry. Just try to understand the concept. We have three pictures now, right? And you can compare what is the difference between initial file. So we can definitely do this. Git difference and initial files for these where we have a starting point and then this is the final point. If you see here, and sure enough, you can see that there is addition. Previously, the file router one was like this and you have added this in the final commit. Previously, the switch one file was this and you have added this, as simple as that, right? Now, this was the demonstration, the little demonstration which I wanted to give. Very simple demonstration. But if you want to repeat the same exercise, you have to install two things on your laptop or maybe personal computer. You need to have VS Code. You need to have Git. These definitely the websites are available, right? For VS Code, visualstudio.com, and for Git, GitSCM. Just choose your operating system version, right? And then install it. One thing which you need to take care, when you install Git default text editor is Vim, and Vim is difficult for network engineer or the engineers like us who haven't worked on it. So when Git asks while installing what is going to be your text editor, you have to tell that this is VS Code, as simple as that. Because you are using VS Code. VS Code is easy, right? There are so many things here, but believe me, it is here. This is your folder structure. Here you can directly change the file. It's very easy if you are entering in the world of automation, in the world of scripting, anything. And by the way, if you want to be relevant in the long run, along with your networking study, see, it is not going anywhere. your routing fundamentals, data center concept, security concept, cloud concept, they all are needed. But if you have another skill, right? And for that skill, automation scripting, Git is going to be inevitable. See, I have taught automation course, and it's my bad that when I taught automation, right? When I taught automation, I didn't know Git. I thought that it's a developer thing, right? So I will be putting all these code, all these chapters there in the network automation course also. So don't worry. But the more I'm using Git in my daily life, the more I'm loving it. Okay, so don't worry, just install these two things, and I will be uploading one more video that how to install this. I think we all are network engineers. We know how to install the VS Code. Just you need to do next, right? With the default settings, you will be able to work. And the Git, in the default setting, it is Vim. Just change it to VS Code, and that is it. That is what you need. And now I am ready. This is what I wanted to tell you in the first class. There is more to come. People think GitHub and Git are same. Those are not. What are the repositories? How? What are the things change when Anjali comes into picture? How the collaboration work? What is going to happen when Anjali change something and Rahul also change the same thing? How this conflict is resolved? We are going to learn all these things in upcoming classes, by the way. Right? Git is again a huge thing. I can't teach everything in the just. It is true for any concept like BGP, right? I have taken 22 classes on BGP, but it's an ocean, right? I can say I just taught the basics of it. Similarly with Git, I am also learning it. Whatever I have learned, I can teach you. Having said that, your questions, and there are many questions. I think 4 or 5 hands are raised. Let me start with Mr. Nihar. Nihar, please go ahead, unmute yourself and ask the question. Nihar.
Yeah, hi Vishnu. Thanks for this detailed session. I just wanted I missed the last part actually when you check the difference actually. With after changing the switch file actually. What the that part can you please show me again? I
Yeah,
just
that
missed
is.
that.
Yeah, this will be you will be getting it to the recording also. But I am just saying that once I just changed these 2 lines in this here, right? And then I'm comparing. There were 3 commits. These were the 3 commits, right? In the initial files, we have R1 and switch 1, the basic thing. And then I'm comparing it with the final commit. In the final commit, of course, we have this change also. So here you can see when we started, my router have this configuration. But after the 3rd commit, we have this more configuration.
Okay, so it
Similarly,
will show all the differences basically, right?
yes.
Whatever the okay.
Yeah. Remember the Rahul's problem when his boss came and asked what is the difference between 40th version and 50th version? What he was doing? He was opening the 2 files, different files in different screen and comparing them one by one. This tool is doing that for you. Okay, Nihar?
Yeah, I got it. I just wanted to check with which version you compared. Okay. Okay, got it. Thanks.
Perfect. Now, uh, Komal Sharan Jadhav. Komal, please ask a question.
Hi Vishnu, good evening. My question is related to that those 2 folder on the top when you were showing the directory, So there was a folder with dot and double dot
Oh,
inside the Sports India. Yeah, what are those?
okay. So basically, if you see that this, if I do it dir, right, you will see this dot, and this dot represent the current
Yeah,
directory, double dot represent the previous directory. For example, this is the just the way of representing. If I do change directory double dot, I will go one directory back. So now I am in the documents, you can see, right? So it represent one directory back. So again, if I do cd sports India, if I do cd dot, I will be remaining in this. So dot represent correct directory and dot dot represent the previous directory. Okay, this is more towards the operating system side you have asked, but nice observation.
okay, okay. Thank you.
Then let's talk about Nihar. I think we are done with Nihar. Kanna, please ask your question. And whoever get the answer, please, lower your hand. Yeah, Kanna, please go.
Yeah, hi, Vishnu. Yeah. Any limitation for to comparing the difference, like only two versions we can compare or many versions we can compare?
Interesting question. I have no clue about it, but in the next class, I will definitely have it. I will check it, Kanna. I'm sorry, I don't have answer right now.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you, Vishnu.
Perfect. But great question. Means I even didn't think about it, so I will give it a try. But thank you so much for the lovely question. And then we have Dipanshu Ranjan. Dipanshu ji, please ask your question.
Yeah. Actually, I got my answer from this Nihal question. So sorry, I didn't get that emoji from lower my hand.
No problems, no
I
problem.
got I got
Perfect.
my answer. Thank you.
Mr. Tuan, Lee Fan Min, Deputy Manager NOC, please go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah. I have a small question. Do the Git we have a compare backup config of the device?
Compare backup config. So see, basically,
Yeah.
whatever we are having here, right? I think there is a
It may be like the Notepad plus. We have a plugin for the compare the.
Oh yeah. I got the point. Yeah. So basically, there I think you can open two different files and you can compare them side by side, right? This is your
Yeah.
in the notebook.
Do the Git have this feature for this?
I think in the visual thing, right? Right now I am showing everything on the command line, but pretty soon we will be introducing GitHub. Okay, and there in the graphical user interface you will be seeing the difference. Don't worry, we will be answering in couple of classes. But good question.
Oh yeah.
One. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Amit Kumar, please go ahead and ask your question. Amit ji.
Yeah, Vishnu. Yeah, thanks. So, Vishnu, I have the similar question what you just discussed. I had some more queries to that. So, in order to use this tool in the day-to-day operations, there is one thing which we can certainly do using Git. So basically, let's suppose if we are managing 50 devices in the data center, and we have the backups configured for all the devices. So all the running configs are getting backed up on the Git. And from there, if you want to see the recent changes in the configuration, certainly we can use this diff feature.
100%. Basically, you have introduced a new use case for that. I was not aware of it. Thank you so much, man. Yeah, I understood. Yeah. This is so Burak. We were discussing the one of the use case. This could be one of the use case. Thank you so much.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. So Burak.
Yeah, it's a great one, right?
Yeah, it's indeed, and that's how you learn. So that is why this is one thing which is my favorite, right? When you guys ask question, because when you ask question, you teach everybody a lot, especially me. Thank you so much. Who asked this question, by the way? I think Amit, right?
Yeah.
Thank you, Amit Rai. Thank you. So now, Burak, please ask your question. Please go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Vishnu. I think my question is related for the upcoming classes, but whatever. I just want to ask, what is the difference between Git and GitHub?
That's I'll tell you in tomorrow's class, tomorrow or day after tomorrow. So by the way, GitHub, see, I haven't introduced whatever we are learning right now, it's local to a particular machine. We are not storing the configuration somewhere. If you want to store your snapshots, whatever you are doing, into a remote or into the cloud, right? So GitHub is kind of that cloud, which is Git compatible, means whatever the snapshot you have right now, you can store them into the cloud, which is created by GitHub, and then any other person in the world can take that snapshot, can take the entire files in their system. It's a very, very interesting concept, and it is coming in second and third class. Don't worry, we will be going detail into that.
I see. That's how the, for example, international teams works on the same project.
Indeed, you are right.
I see. Okay.
And somebody has a
Thank you.
GitLab. GitLab is just another thing like GitHub, right? For example, we have different type of cloud provider. We have Microsoft, we have AWS.
It's
Yeah, Sangeeta ji,
different.
please go ahead. Now you have been recorded. Yeah, please go ahead, Sangeeta.
Actually, my question is not related to Git. I just want to ask, like last time you took AI ML classes, okay? So I was thinking like you will take next classes related to that only. Then why you chose Git only? There
Yeah,
must be any, yeah.
yeah, there is a specific reason. Actually, I recently saw a shift for network engineers, and this is just one tool. And
Uh-huh.
that's why I'm teaching it free also, so that I want
Right.
everybody to have at least control
Mhm.
over it. Because if I am teaching deep learning, machine learning, or anything in AI for network engineers
Mhm.
in upcoming classes or segment or anything, right? We need to manage and
Right.
maintain these files, whatever we are developing. So this is important, and probably
I
we will be
think
coming to
Git,
that. Yeah.
yeah, like people, developers are only mainly using because otherwise, like if anybody is like Linux admin or network engineer, so they are using a local repository only if they just want to store anything. So I think probably Git developers are mostly using if they just want. There are a lot of developers simultaneously. Everybody is working. What do you say?
No, 100%. I do agree with you, and that is what my thinking also just a
Mhm.
couple of months back. But when I started, see, I recently did a video on future of networking, right? So
Mm.
it is absolutely new for me, all these things. But I feel that if I want to be in automation or some AI ML kind of thing, I think this tool knowledge is a must. But yes, definitely, Sangeeta ji, I will be coming later to that point where we have left.
In AI ML also, it will be useful. You wanna say?
Uh, no, but if you want to get into the automation field, something, then yes.
Yeah,
For
then
example,
there
in
is. Yeah.
AI ML also, see what we were doing.
Mm.
We were just creating some files. We were creating some folders. We were creating some scripts, right? If you remember.
Right. Mhm.
But mostly, if
Right
you
one.
if you want to do a change in that, then of course Git is required, and that is why I'm not touching the deepest portion of Git. That is why only 5 classes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
But good question. Thank you so much. Then Tapas Pandaji, please go ahead and ask your question.
Hi Vishnu, good evening, and thanks again for this great session.
You are most welcome, bhai.
And
Yeah.
Regarding this, are we going to touch somewhere with CI/CD for this?
No, we are not going to get into the CI/CD, but yes, there is the next thing. Means if I teach anything in automation, because we are here in Cisco doing some great things, which include software defined WAN as a code, ACI as a code, and believe me, the CI/CD pipeline is the next thing because it automates your automation. So definitely not in this course as a part of this course, but somewhere in some course we will be doing CI/CD for sure.
Yeah. So actually, presently where I'm working with NSO, that's automation stuff. It's all are integrated. So I was
Yes.
looking for that one. And
Yes.
coming to that earlier context, just to have a information. So in automation stage, we have multiple test environment like pre-stage, central test, or local-wise Docker, Kubernetes, all are integrated. To get the version control, Git helps much more. So whenever required to pull out some user specific is or some team specific, multiple manual automation testers are there. So with the commit ID, we are pulling that and we are doing the test. So it's helped a lot.
Perfect. But I think yes, you are 100% right here. And Git knowledge is basically, for example, whenever we teach network as a code or SD-WAN as a code, there is a specific session here inside Cisco or other companies also specific to Git, and that is the whole sole purpose. I want everybody to be aware of this. For example, if you are saving your your image file also, right? Then save in a version control manager, so you understand what is the difference between 2024 and 2025 files. So it is not just because of network engineer perspective. Anybody should have this, should understand Git. Then thank you so much for your question, by the way. Then Gopa Kumar. Yeah, please go ahead, Gopa Kumar.
Yeah, hello. Hi, Vishnu. I just had this question. So, like, right now, when we are using test editor like VS Code and all, we are just, writing it in pure simple test, right? So, what I understand is basically the codes that we have in Git, we use in automation tools like, Ansible or something. So, there it's mostly in YAML. So, how does, that fit in, like, what language or what syntax or how we are writing the code?
So VS Code basically has number one choice for developer, right? And the reason is because it has syntax syntax identifying capabilities. For example, if you are creating a Python file, it can definitely show you that while writing the code itself, it can show you that there is a problem, right? So although I could have teach this Git without VS Code also by taking the examples in the notepad itself, but what exactly your question here means? Why are we using VS Code in the Git, or what exactly the question is?
No, like, so maybe my understanding is wrong, but I think that, when we are using Ansible and stuff like that, you usually pull code from Git, right? So, and the code that we are saving into Git is like written using VS Code or other test editors. So, how does that work is what I
that
wanted
I
to
got.
understand.
You will get the answer in second or third when we are fetching the remote repositories. I will introduce repositories tomorrow. By the way, whatever the snapshot we have taken, that is the repository, and we have just talked about local repository in today's class. We'll be talking about remote also when we introduce GitHub.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, AK. What is your full name, AK? Akhil Kumar, Arvind Kumar. Mr. AK, you can ask a question.
Am I audible?
Yeah. What's your full name?
My name is Antriksh.
Antriksh. Okay. Please go ahead, sir.
Okay. So my question is, once we make a changes in the files R1 and switch 1, so all the files will be getting override, like the changes will be done in the same existing file. So then if you want to retrieve the older file, then how we can do that?
Definitely, I will be I will be showcasing that on the UI maybe in tomorrow's or day after tomorrow's class. Don't worry about it. It is safe.
Hello.
Yeah, so don't worry about it.
You're audible.
Yeah, we will be showing this in the we will be showing in the next class. Am I audible now?
I think whatever you are asking, that he will tell in next classes, because he just started today only, like how we can know about that in next class. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But actually,
I will be talking about this in the next class. She's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So guys, there are a lot of dropped connections today. I think I have to check my home network. And
maybe you'll have to
shoot for this.
Yeah, before anything, I think I need to verify what exactly has gone wrong in today's class, because I think I took a lot of your time. So sorry for that, but definitely so tomorrow is not going to be any class. Yeah, we will be meeting on Wednesday.
So you have to take the classes in Zoom as well, maybe the next time.
Yeah,
because I believe there is some issue with the team call.
Yes, 100%. So
now we will be resuming on Wednesday, right?
Yeah, Wednesday. I will be. I think you all are on the WhatsApp. now. If you are
WhatsApp
not,
group, yeah.
if you are not, then basically
Yeah.
please try to join it, because it is there in
It's on the same
emails.
time, or?
Yeah, it is going to be the same time. Wednesday and Thursday we will be having class. I am giving tomorrow's day to you guys so that you can install VS Code, you can install Git. At least make yourself familiar with Git init command. It's at least Git init and Git commit command. Along with that, that is what. Yeah.
Vishnu, can you just share that command and all that stuff in the WhatsApp? It would
Yeah,
be
I can
really,
do that. I can do the same. Yeah.
Yeah,
Tomorrow
please.
morning.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for being patient with me today, because there were a lot of drops, but thank you so much. See you
Yeah, it's
and
totally fine.
see you on Wednesday.
Thank you so much for
And
this wonderful.
Thank you.
session.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you
Vishnu.
You
for
are
the
most
efforts.
welcome.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Take care,
Thanks,
guys.
Advance, for your time.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye bye,
Bye.
Vishnu. Bye bye.
And I like
Bye.
emojis. Thank
Bye.
you so
Thank you,
much.
Vishnu.
So many emojis. Wow.
Okay, thank you.
Nice. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye bye.